Hey guys, Cable here with another commentary video. As you can see, we have footage from both blue and red team here, so it's really going to allow us to point out the pros and cons of each team's decisions. This gameplay can be broken down much more than I'm going to be able to in this small 7-minute video, so I'll do my best to cover the highlights of the game. We're going to start off with blue team pushing on the right side of the map. They're making a decision to put all 4 of their players there as opposed to splitting it up 2 and 2. At the end of the game, it does kind of work out in their favor. So as you can see, red team takes middle lane, blue team's going to stay on the right side. Right here, it's really going to work out for them. They're going to be able to take our tower, and they're going to be able to kill our Stinger. And now red team has 2 players up on the back left tower of blue team. Blue team's going to see that, and they're going to come up to defend their tower. There's a lot that can be said about this exchange, but at the end of it, I'm just going to sum it all up to both teams lost their sneaky. Right there, you could see in blue team's efforts to sort of push their team off to the left side of the map, it left the right side of their map incredibly open, and our basher was able to get in there and start hitting their tower. You want to always remember that even if you've already taken the tower on that side, you still want to have someone on your team defending your towers. Right there, a questionable decision was made whether or not to kill or let that Stinger live. He was chose to let live. It actually comes back to bite us in the butt later, though. Right here, it's going to hit us. We're going to get stunned. Right there, red team's cutter, his position overall was just not very great. It's still very early on in the game, still very low level. You don't want to be pushing up that far when mid lane is coming without your team there to protect you. So right there, blue team's doing a pretty good job of keeping red team away from their towers. Right here, one mistake that you're going to notice throughout this game is red sneaky just does not blink in time. Doc on blue team, his positioning wasn't very great there. He overextended. He had the right idea. Red team sneaky was stunned. You want to start moving behind him, so as soon as he blinks away, you can finish that kill. It just didn't work out in his favor right there. Again, right here, I'm going to make a judgment call to blink in front of blue team to protect my cutter. Turns out he wouldn't have needed it at all, but it was just a judgment call, and that's a lot about minions. It's a lot of judgment calls, and you've got to trust that every decision that your team makes, that they thought at that point in time that it was the best decision to make. So right here, again, Cutter is kind of being a little bit too aggressive, going for tower hits that ultimately just do not work out in his favor. He's going to get stunned. At the end of everything, he's going to die, and it just really wasn't worth the play. You don't want to push up on towers without your team unless you know that the entire enemy team is dead and there's not a chance that they're going to come back and attack you. Right there, you can see that whenever your team is coming up to protect you so you can escape, you don't want to keep turning back and trying to, keep a battle going. Throughout that battle, you can see that red team's Stinger actually stunned the Doc. I don't understand the decision. His DPS isn't enough to be worried about. He was the furthest back in their line. It was just a bad stun overall. But it was a stun that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been made at all. You can see right here, this entire play, I'm just going to contribute up to two things. One, terrible positioning on red team's part. Cutter's way too much up. Just we're not lined up the way that we should be. Two, blue team does an incredible job of controlling the right side of the map and not really letting us get in there. So right there, just bad positioning by the Stinger. You always want to be with your Basher when you're playing as Stinger. And what that means is literally like staying as close to him as you can. He's your lifeline. You need to protect him because you know that he's going to protect you. And if you're too far away from each other, you can't protect each other. Right here, red cutter is just being too aggressive, pushing up without his team. Really, red team should have backed off right there. Neither the Sneaky nor the Basher had enough health to really want to push a fight. Not to mention they didn't even have their Stinger with them. Right here again, you can see Red Sneaky almost got stunned again, and that would have cost him his life. If you're playing as Sneaky, you've always got to be aware of when the enemy team is going to be coming at you and when you need to blink away. So right here in hindsight, Red Sneaky should have probably finished off the Stinger and then killed the Sneaky, seeing as how the Sneaky was still within his range. It all works out in the end. We're able to make that last kill. We're able to take both of their towers and win the game. But it's small things like that where you've got to realize, you know, hey, even though we won, there were still improvements that could have been made. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I can do more of them in the future. I'd appreciate feedback.